Grandpa was called to service as a civilian instructor for the Army Air Corps, and he began training cadets to fly in Stearmans. That went on for about 1 year, and then he was brought into a squadron that ferried brand new pursuit aircraft for the Army Air Corps and took those to the coastline. And then he was brought in to fly C-46s and C-47s between India and China, flying over the Himalayas, known as a hump pilot. And that's where he finished his service during World War II. When he got back, he borrowed the money to buy this J-3. In early January of '46, he put on his uniform and began hitchhiking to Lock Haven, got in this airplane, flew it back, rented a parcel of land just west of where we're standing now, and put his shingle out when what was known as Waupun Flying Service, and the flight school started with this airplane. So we believe in about 1949, he did configure not this J-3, but a J-3 to begin dusting peas for a local canning company. The neat part about this airplane is it just happened to be that first airplane that was bought brand new to start the family legacy. Grew the business in a pretty dramatic fashion from that late 1940s, early 1950s until he passed the business along, sold the business to my dad and uncles in 1979.
Honestly, really impressed me just how my great-grandfather built all this from the ground up, and then how hard my grandfather and my dad have worked to continue it and grow it even more. Well, when I was younger, I never really was super interested in flying for a career, but once I started taking flying lessons, I got more and more interested.
Caroline gets the same deal that I got from Grandpa. You work for 10 hours, you get 1 hour of flight instruction. And she has a ledger and she keeps track of all that.
As we started flight training, my dad got the idea to start looking through my great-grandfather's logbooks, and then found the plane, contacted the guy who had it.
I learned that it was owned by a retired FAA maintenance inspector by the name of David Lehman. I got to thinking about it, I'm like, boy, I wonder, why wouldn't I buy that airplane? So I called David and he asked what the plans were for the airplane, and I explained we'd like to rebuild it. And I'd like my daughter to solo in it, and then eventually my son also has an interest in aviation and making it a career.
It was exciting. Coming into it, I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, am I gonna actually be ready to solo in this plane? But it's more simple than the Super Cub, so it was pretty easy to learn how to fly.
She didn't receive a lot of instruction in the J-3 prior to her birthday, because the airplane got here on November 23rd. And her birthday was November 30th. She soloed on December 1st.
I thought I would be nervous, but I wasn't really. It had been such an anticipated moment.
She just went out there. We did 3 takeoffs and landings together. They went great. I got out, and she did 3 perfect takeoffs and landings.
I had my maternal grandfather's ashes and my dad's grandfather's burial flag. And that really added to the sentimental value of the whole experience. And I felt like even though they couldn't be there to watch me, they were still there with me. This
airplane could have easily been destroyed, you know, not so much flying, just simply destroyed to a place where it's not recognizable. And so the fact that the owners were good caretakers of it along the way I feel fortunate that we're able to track it down.